Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's Ask Me Anything About Evernote number 28. Now, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them in another video. Don't forget to subscribe, tamingthetrunk.com, tamingthetrunk.com, or subscribe on YouTube. Okay, this week's question comes from Rob, and Rob asks, how do you manage receipts and bills in Evernote? Ooh, I do this a lot. I mean, pretty much all my receipts and bills end up in Evernote, to be fair. And this is kind of how I do it. So let's go over to notebooks. I've prepared a stack in my demo Evernote here. And I've got a stack called receipts. Inside, we have receipts for 2023, 2024, 2025. My actual live one goes back to 2010. I kind of got everything in there on my other Evernote. So what we do is we create basically a notebook for each individual year. Okay. And I also have a receipt dump notebook, which is where I kind of collect all my receipts before I name them and sort them. But we'll talk about that in a second. So it's basically, let's go into receipts 2023. So 2023. Okay. So let's say we got the Eon electric bill, August 2023. That's in there. We've also got our council tax, April 2023, in there as well. I've just had the council tax bill actually last week. Not very pleasant. It's kind of like local taxes we pay here in the UK to our local council. So I store that bill in Evernote. It's got all the dates of all the payments when they go out over the next 10 months, that sort of thing. It's useful to have. So that's basically 2023. Let's take a quick look at 2024. We've got Severn Trent water bill, August 2024. Now, you can see I'm using some sort of naming convention here, and I try and use kind of like who it is, what it is, and when it is. So it's kind of like a who, a what, and a when. So the who is Severn Trent Water. That's the name of the company, okay? And what it is, it's the bill. Okay, so that's what it is. And when is August 2024. Same as this, council tax, April 2024. And I stick to this naming convention that I've kind of like got muscle memory involved in now. So if I want to find all of my council tax bills, all I have to do is search everywhere for council tax. We got all of them appearing. If I just want council tax for 2025, for example, I just type council tax 2025 and that one comes up. So no matter what I'm doing, I can kind of find it. So if I look for electric bill, all of my electric bills will appear in there. If I want to search for electric bill for 2023, whoops, let's get that right, 2023, then electric bill for 2023 shows up. So you get the idea. By having a naming convention of kind of like who it is, what it is, and when is it, you can kind of like search then for whatever you want from whenever you want really quickly. And I quite like doing this. It works really, really well for me. So I would recommend you using your own naming convention. You don't have to use the same as me. If you don't use the word bill, you might use the word receipt or the word invoice, for example. Use the words that you use in your own language, how you speak, kind of thing, to kind of like dictate your own naming convention, which is really useful. So that's how I kind of store all my receipts, and it's kind of like how I find them. How I get them into Evernote is another thingy. So let me go back here. Most of my bills come in either through email or I scan them using the Evernote app. So if you open up the Evernote phone app and you go to the create page, there's a scan button. Hit that and you can scan in a copy of your receipt. And then what I then do is throw it into my receipt dump area, which I must admit is quite large because I tend to sort out my receipts when I feel like it and when I think about it. So there may possibly be right now in my other Evernote quite a few receipts and bills in my receipts dump notebook, but I will get to them one day. So that's how I do it using my phone. I kind of like scan it in and it stores it in my receipts dump. Another thing that I do is I use my email client. Now I use EM client for email, and it comes with a really cool little feature called Quick Actions. I know Outlook used to have it. I'm not sure whether it has it anymore. I don't know if Gmail does it or Apple Mail does it. Not sure, but have a look at the manual, he says. But basically what a quick action is it's kind of like a rule where you can kind of like just go click and it performs a bunch of actions. So what this does is it forwards any email over to my EN receipt dump notebook. So basically it forwards it as the original email. We add my Evernote email address in there, which you can find if you go to Tools and Account Info. Okay, you can find your Evernote email address. It adds the subject, which has @receipts dump, so that puts it in my receipts dump notebook, and then we send, and it forwards it. Simple as that. That's how we do it. I've got quite a few of these kind of quick actions sorted out, but the one I use the most is the receipts dump. So I get a receipt, turns up in my mailbox, we go quick action, EN receipt dump, and then like a few seconds later, it's there waiting for me to one day in the future sort it out and put a proper naming convention in there and store it in the proper notebook and everything and move it around and sort it out. I will do them all one day. So that's kind of how I manage receipts and bills. You could do it using tags. I know some folks do it with tags where they might have, like for an electric bill, they might have kind of like a tag for home and a tag for electric and a tag for 2024 and things. But to me, that just makes life too complicated. It just gets way too complicated. If you have a naming convention that is how you speak, like when I say electric bill, the electric bill's just arrived. That's how I talk. I don't say the electric invoices. I say the electric bill. You might use receipt or invoice, right? But the words that you speak, if your naming convention is like that, you're less likely to forget. With tags, I mean, could you imagine how many tags? If you had to have like a tag for electric, a tag for gas, a tag for water, a tag for this, a tag for me personally, that will get too complicated. But I do know people who use a lot of tags and use them quite successfully and kind of have all their receipts in one receipts notebook, and then they're all tagged and things like that, but a little bit too complicated for me. So Rob, that is how I do it. That's how I look after all my receipts and things. If anybody's got anything to add, leave it in the comments. Absolutely love to hear how you manage receipts and bills and things like that. It would be really cool to hear. And if you've got a question, leave it in the comments as well. And don't forget to subscribe. tamingthetrunk.com, tamingthetrunk.com, or subscribe on YouTube as well. That's it. Thanks for watching.